Hey guys, a new day here and maybe one of our final days on the Spectre build. Now, you saw me put the arches on. One of the last mechanical issues that we're having is our fuel breather is heavily perished and we have a couple of fuel line leaks towards the fuel filter housing. So we're going to basically drop the tank down. Whilst we're there, it's a common problem on TD5s that the fuel pump packs up. So we're going to catch it before it actually does that and just get one, chuck one in there whilst we're there and bolt it back together. And fingers crossed, that will be the end of our fuel leak and our perished line will be replaced. And we can move on to our carbon fibre bonnet. This is what I'm talking about. You see, our line is perished and that leads into the top of the tank along with our fuel line. So we're gonna have to drop this tank down to replace these. And whilst we're there, we're also gonna chuck in our new fuel pump. This one's putting up a fight. Some of them fall out. But basically the design of a Defender, I think it's pre-Puma, so basically up to the TD5. As Land Rover built them, they built the axles, the chassis, then they put the fuel tank in and then the body on top. So it's not technically supposed to come out from below. Obviously everyone has to do that way because you're not going to take the body off to take out the fuel tank. But it's just a bit of a prying, banging and kind of sometimes brute force method to get this thing out. It doesn't break or damage anything or any part of the carrier. It's just not really designed to supposed to come out from below. So you kind of have to slip it forwards whilst it's still held on here and pry it away and deform the bracket around the plastic tank. And then it suddenly all falls to pieces. So here we have our fuel tank removed and looks like the world's oldest fuel pump itself. Now it does still work, but it's a lot of sort of labor to get into this. And this one's chipped up quite heavily, so I'm just gonna chuck a new one in just to make sure that we catch the problem before it actually happens. And yeah, this is why we're here really, which is this perished breather and our fuel line leak near the fuel filter. So let's switch this out. Okay, so our pump is fitted, new pump, labelled up and leak free. This is a full tank, which is unhelpful, but there we go. New fuel lines, just the blue and the white ones, which are the ones that lead to the the ones that lead to the fuel filter. They're the ones that were leaking. So now it's time to put the fuel tank back in, and got a new breather on as well. So yeah, ready for reassembly. We've one last thing to do, which is to prime our pump. It should be now priming. And we can check for leaks. Let's show our fuel level. Yep, showing our fuel level. So we'll let it prime and we can start it up. Fuel gauge working. Well, that is a great result. It works, it doesn't leak, and that is one more thing, one less job left to do on the Spectre now. It's gotten kind of late on me, so I'm gonna grab you guys in the morning and I promise you we will fit the carbon fibre bonnet. So a lot of talk about it, but it's going to be fitted and it's going to really tie up this front end. We'll fit the badges, fit the Land Rover stuff on the front, and it just looks so good. Okay guys, next day here, and this morning we're going to fit the carbon fibre bonnet. So I'm going to grab that now and we can start drilling and cutting, having a look what is required to fit and get this thing installed, because it's just going to look so good with this bonnet on. Then we put the badges on, and pretty much then we're looking at the exterior is all complete. So let's grab that bonnet. This thing just looks absolutely mega quality. It's just so deep and luxurious. Ooh. So we pull this down, take that bonnet off, and I can work out exactly where. You can see, obviously, I've got to drill the holes, but I'm not just going to go ahead and drill where they've marked in case that those hinges don't fit properly. So I'm going to strip all the hardware off of this bonnet, take that bonnet off, and proceed. Weighs a ton in comparison to this one. So we take some measurements, drill out our new holes, and get this bad boy fitted. Now, one of the problems we could have is that when we start to drill, we send a crack up onto a visible part of the bonnet, which obviously wouldn't be very good because we damage our very expensive carbon fibre bonnet. So we've measured, we've marked, we have got little dimples, thankfully, and we're going to start with a small drill bit so that we can obviously do this correctly. So let's go ahead. Just look fully mental. Now that that's fitted, we can give it a quick clean and fit our badges. So the badges that we're fitting, because it says Defender here, we're going to fit the ones that originally say Land Rover Defender rather than Defender. Look a bit stupid, so unfortunately they got to look crumpled up in the post, and so all the letters are a bit wonky, so I'm going to do them by eye. And I know for a fact that the R goes above the bonnet pin itself, so I'm basically going to have to do this by eye and make sure that this thing comes out absolutely perfect, because all the letters, if I just stuck them on like that, they look all wonky. So I'll loosely press it and then pick, I mean, you can see the E. Really, really bad. check the spacing, and I'm happy with how that's sitting. It looks really, really nice, I think. So now it's time to move on to the back, put the Defender badge on, take some other ones off, and put the TD5 badges on. In the process of remapping this vehicle up to a stage 4. Okay guys, just have a look at this thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm so happy with the way it looks. Puma bonnet, the carbon fibre, everything, the lift, it's all perfect and it all looks absolutely mental. We just remapped to stage 4 and now we're going to go for a little road test and see how it all feels. What's happening? Look how mental it looks. No! I can't believe he's standing in front of me. Absolute madness. Hey guys, we're at the shop picking up all our supplies for this to give it a full service. I still can't get over this thing. It's absolutely mental. It just looks crazy. Even here next to, I mean, some other vehicles, but it's just not as big. So test driving is good. I'll try and film a little bit on a private section of the road, but it's absolutely ridiculous and it's so fast as well. So let's get back to the shop. So I'm on a private stretch of land and this thing is, let's see how fast it really is. Man, this thing is fast. I can't believe how fast this thing feels. Oh my goodness. This is so fast. Absolutely rips. Ooh-wee. It feels good as well on the road. It feels very, very nice. No nasty noises. Steers nice. There's a little bit of dash vibration from the sides of these wheels and tyres, but it's not crazy. It doesn't feel. You'd think it'd be quite hard to drive. It's not at all. It still does lock to lock, no scrubbing, no nasty noises. And yeah, it doesn't, the gear ratios don't feel messed up by the size of the wheels and tyres. I mean, it has got a Discovery transfer box on this, and obviously I changed the clutch on this for a proper clutch, but I mean, I would never think that it was this easy to drive or this nice. I mean, it feels nice and smooth, it doesn't feel rock hard. It's wonderful. Great, I'll see you at the shop. So the last thing on the list here is to give it a full service. So we're going to take it into the garage, lift it up and change the front and rear differential fluids, the transfer box, gearbox oil, and then a full engine service. And if we have time, we'll give it a nice wash. If not, we'll do that first thing in the morning. Probably do it first thing in the morning actually, because it's starting to go a little dark and it's a pretty involved service, but I don't know if I can give this one back. I absolutely love it. I can't stop looking at it. It's great. Well, let's get it inside. Okay, that is our front differential, our gearbox, our transfer box, and our rear differential, and a fuel filter change. We've also dropped the engine oil. So now we're done under here. All we need to do now is lower the vehicle and do the engine filters. We've got a centrifugal filter on a TD5 and then a spin-on filter. Fill it with some oil, top up all the levels. I think I've already done that. Check the tire pressures and roll this one out, all freshly serviced. So let's bring it down off the ramp and start going into the engine. Oh man, we had to cut this one out. Okay guys, that's going to be a wrap for today. It's fully serviced. All the differentials, the axle, gearbox, and the engine. Now tomorrow morning, we're going to clean the vehicle and take it for an MOT, and fingers crossed it passes. So, and then unfortunately we've got to hand it over to the customer. I'm not quite sure I want to give this one back, but it's got to be done. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. Okay guys, new day, and we're just winding on our rope for our winch. We strapped it up to old Red, and we are using this very fancy remote, which is, I don't know, only specific I think to the Xeon range, but we'll spin the camera around and I'll show you what I'm doing. This is some fancy stuff. So we loaded up the rope correctly, and we're now spooling onto the drum. I feel like we need a winch on this one as well. Look at this thing rolling. I'm still amazed. You can even control your lights in this thing. You've got floodlights. We may have to put a light bar on this one, you know. Look at the height difference. Woo-wee! Okay, now that the winch is wound on, we now need to give this thing a nice clean because it's absolutely filthy. And I'm going to leave it with the hood's being changed, so I'm just going to leave the sides rolled up. And we'll wash it as is, and we'll just be a little bit careful. But let's get it down to the wash bay and get this thing nice and clean. To do it. Oh, look at it. That looks so much better with that roof light bar on. Wow. Oh man, what a difference. Well guys, that brings me to the end of this project, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. I certainly enjoyed building it, and I hope that you guys like and comment and share, and let me know what you think down below. But stay tuned, because we've got something else coming into the shop, and I'll catch you next time. So the customer's just collected his Defender, and I'm so sad to see this one leave. Look at the size of this thing. Come on in, dog.